calendar was hanging crooked, and the date circle felt like a stain. 20 years old, holding an answer that tasted like pouring rain. We were sitting on the edge of the bed, the cheap vinyl couch from college years, and the silence in the apartment was louder than all of our gathered fears. I looked at my girl, her face pale, the test kit lying there cold. We had half a tank of gas in the future that felt too heavy to hold. This wasn't the plan we drew up on the back of a napkin in a cafe. We were meant to be traveling, we were meant to be finding our own way. And the world felt like it was breaking down, falling out of my shaking hand. We were two kids playing grown up, stranded on unstable land. Every instinct was screaming, run, every voice whispered you'll fail. But then she looked at me and I knew that sailing was the only option for this frail little boat we were riding. We had a secret growing, an unstoppable thing. And I was terrified of the future that the next 9 months would bring. I drove out to her father's house, needing an answer, needing a sign. The air in the garage was thick with sawdust, turpentine, and wine. He didn't yell, he didn't judge, just handed me a wrench that helped me fix this sink. He talked about the future while I tried not to overthink. He said, when your mother and I found out, we thought we lost the whole trail. We were scared to death, son, just two hands in a ship with a broken sail. He wiped the oil from his hands, looked me straight in the eye and spoke soft. You'll figure it out, when you're good, man, and you're smart, you just have to try. It wasn't a solution, it was just a permission to be brave, to stop seeing this moment as a curse, but as a future we could save. Now it's messy, yeah, the floor is covered up in blocks and glitter paint, but every ounce of the chaos feels holy, feels like a saint. Came down and blessed the disaster. She's two now, a tiny wrecking crew. I swore I'd be patient, but she tests everything I thought I knew. I wake up to the sound of tiny footsteps hitting the hall rug. She mastered a jailbreak, climbing over the white picket wall of the crib. Drug out of the bedroom, headed straight for the kitchen cabinets, pulling spoons and pans. A blue-eyed terrorist, master of the domestic mayhem plans. We look at each other, me and my girl, bleary-eyed, coffee in hand, and we just laugh, realizing this is the best, most beautiful unplanned life we could ever have known. The fear is long gone and replaced by the absolute joy of a little blonde hair in the face. The fear didn't leave, it just changed its name from anxiety to a need to protect. I started saving pennies, planning every move with respect. And then she arrived, a small perfect weight in the middle of our world, with a tiny adorable nose, blonde hair and eyes, a bright shining pearl. And now the world is built up, spinning out of my steady hand. We're still two kids playing grown up, but we finally understand. We can't imagine the silence, the emptiness, the life that used to be. Before our blue-eyed girl turned our fear into perfect clarity. She laughs in the morning, and the sunlight catches her tiny face. We were terrified of the future, but she gave our future its grace. Now look at my girl holding her, no, we'll never be apart.